What if your greatest disappointment with God did not come from His silence, but from the promises you believed He had made? This is not an easy question, but it is an honest one, because many people begin their journey of faith with enthusiasm, only to find themselves later confused, discouraged, or quietly disappointed, not because God failed, but because they expected something He never promised. Many people follow Jesus expecting things He never said He would give. They expect constant comfort. They expect a life free from pain. They expect easier paths. They expect recognition. They expect faith to function as protection against loss, rejection, uncertainty, and seasons of silence. But when we look closely at the Gospels, we discover something that changes everything. Jesus never promised a life without suffering. In fact, He was honest from the very beginning. And perhaps it is precisely that honesty that makes His words so difficult to accept. Jesus attracted crowds, yet He never softened the truth to keep them. He did not negotiate the calling. He did not adapt His message to make it more appealing. He did not reshape faith to fit human comfort. While many leaders promise success, Jesus spoke about surrender. While many promise visible victories, Jesus spoke about the cross. While many offer guarantees, Jesus presented a path. And this is where confusion begins. At no point did Jesus promise that following God would be easy. He never said faith would spare us from loss. He never guaranteed that we would avoid rejection. He never promised there would be no moments of silence. What He promised was presence. And presence is very different from comfort. Comfort removes pain. Presence sustains us through pain. Comfort avoids difficulty. Presence walks with us through it. This may be one of the greatest crises of modern faith. We have built expectations not from Jesus' words, but from human interpretation. We expect God to function as a shield against every kind of suffering. But Jesus never said that. He said that in this world we would have trouble, and still He called us to follow Him. The problem is not trusting God. The problem is trusting promises He never made. When reality does not match our expectations, many people become frustrated. They withdraw. They harden their hearts, not because God failed, but because they believed something that never came from Him. Jesus never promised applause. He never promised social acceptance. He never promised that we would always be understood. On the contrary, He said we would be rejected because of His name. He said the world would not understand those who chose to walk with Him. These words are rarely highlighted, but they remain true. Following Jesus is not entering a spiritual comfort zone. It is entering a path of transformation, and transformation hurts. It confronts the ego. It breaks illusions. It dismantles false expectations. Jesus never promised that this process would be pleasant. He promised that it would be real. When we look at the lives of the apostles, this becomes even clearer. They did not receive easy lives. They received persecution, loss, imprisonment, and in many cases, death. Yet they remained firm, not because everything worked out, but because they knew whom they had believed. Jesus also never promised immediate answers. Many times He responded with silence. Other times, He responded with questions. This teaches us something profound. Faith is not built only on answers. It is built on trust. Trusting even when we do not understand. Remaining even when it hurts. Perhaps you are in a season where you are asking, "Where is God?" Perhaps you are frustrated because you expected something different. Perhaps you believed that following Jesus would spare you from certain pains. But the truth is this: Jesus never promised the absence of pain. He promised meaning. There is a deep difference between a faith built on false promises and a faith built on truth. The first collapses in pain. The second grows through it. Jesus did not call people to a comfortable life. He called them to a life of purpose. When we understand what he never promised, we begin to value what he truly offered. Not an easy road, but a true one. Not a life without tears, but a life filled with hope. And that hope is not found in avoiding the cross. It is found in knowing that the cross is not the end. Jesus never presented faith as a shortcut. He presented it as a path, a narrow path, a path that requires choice, that requires surrender, that requires consistency. He did not promise ease, he promised faithfulness. And faithfulness does not mean the absence of problems. It means remaining despite them. Jesus never promised that every prayer would be answered the way we expect. He taught us to pray, "Your will be done." That changes everything. It removes us from the center and places God where he has always belonged. Many people confuse faith with control, but Jesus taught surrender. He never promised that we would understand everything he spoke of. Mysteries, he spoke of unseen processes. We want logic, he offers trust. We want clarity, he offers relationship. Jesus also never promised popularity. He said we would be strangers to the world, judged, misunderstood, rejected. This is not lack of love, it is honesty. True faith is not built on applause, it is built on conviction. Jesus never promised the absence of fear. He promised peace in the midst of fear. That peace does not depend on circumstances. It is born from trust, and it remains even when the situation does not change. Jesus did not call people to believe in promises. He called them to follow him. Following requires trusting without seeing everything, obeying without understanding everything. And when we begin to understand this, something changes deeply within us. We realize that many of our disappointments with God were born from human expectations, not from his silence. Jesus never promised constant comfort, but he promised something infinitely greater. I am with you always. Presence sustains where empty promises fail. Presence comforts where explanations fall short. Presence strengthens when strength runs out. If your faith is being refined today, understand this. It is not abandonment, it is maturity. God is not pushing you away, he is drawing you deeper. Now, let me ask you something sincerely. What promise did you believe Jesus made that he never actually did? Write it in the comments. That could be the beginning of a lighter faith. If this message spoke to you, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to grow in a deeper faith, subscribe to the channel. Because next week, we will release new videos and new reflections that may strengthen your journey even more. We do not promise easy paths here, but we walk with the one who promised to be with us until the end. See you in the next video.